Blackzilians are doing better. Vitor has found a new sort of love for the game. If that's kind of rubbed off on you at all, or if you yourself are feeling more invigorated once again.
Yes, definitely. When you train with a guy like Vitor and the guys I train with at camp, you can't help but feel the energy every single time you go to practice. And you got to fight in practice. You got these guys that are not just trying to have a great practice, but they're trying to dominate you and beat you. And if you don't rise to the occasion, then you'll get beat up.
But when you said before that you were fired up, and then you admitted you didn't feel it for a little now. So how do we know for real this time?
I guess you really never know. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you only know until it's fight time. You can feel a certain way going to the fight, but on fight night, everything is different. You can't really predict how you're going to feel from one moment to the next. I can't ask you how you're going to feel in 5 minutes from now because you don't know. You just got to go with the moment. You got to go with how you feel. And as of right now, I feel great, and hopefully it'll carry over until Saturday.
I was just curious, since you were on season 2, you were one of the pioneers of the Ultimate Fighter 2. Do you feel that same, the pressure that has changed, more is at stake as an athlete now than when you first began? And does that change the way you look about your training and your preparation, just your overall fight game?
Yeah, I mean, in most part because, since then, this has become more of a job for me. I mean, the fact that at that time when I was on Ultimate Fighter show, I didn't really know where this could go. But once I've been in the UFC, once I've had success in the UFC, the pressure's on. Now I'm the guy to beat. Before I was trying to beat the guy, now I'm the guy to beat. So, it's a lot of pressure for myself to go out there and compete at a high level, but it's also pressure, to stay in the organization. It's not easy to be in the organization as long as I have been in, especially the way it is. This is the fight business. The fight business, in the entertainment business, it doesn't last long, and you got to maximize every opportunity you get. And with that said, the pressure still, it can get to you, but you have to remember why you started, and you have to remember to at least have fun doing it.
How difficult has it been, Rashad, switching from a man who's prepared to lick your boots on live television to facing a man who's going to be punching you in the face on Saturday night? And obviously you have been friends. How difficult has it been mentally?
It's been a transition for me. For the last 10 weeks, I've been kind of just putting him in that mental that compartment where I'm able to go and compete against him. But Chael's a hard guy to have those feelings for. Usually when you have a fight coming up, you kind of get those ill intentions. Even if you don't have a problem with the guy, but you kind of need it a little bit. But with Chael, it's just not like that. For me, it's just more of just want to go out there and have a good fight, and want to go out there and prove to myself and prove to everybody else that I'm still the #1 contender at light heavyweight.
And it gives you bragging rights on TV for a very long time.
Yeah, I don't want to say that, but yeah, that's a real reason. That's what we're really fighting for.
Exactly.
Me and Chael's situation was a bit different, being the fact that we don't have a training history together. I can imagine for these guys having a training history together is 10 times hard. We're friends and stuff like that, but at the same time, had we spent the time training together, going through those rough training sessions and the time you spend with a training partner and everything that goes into it, the decision to fight each other would have been hard because it was hard already for us to make the decision, and we hadn't really had that time training together.